Let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. Aaron, welcome to the Line of Fire.
A little background just to kind of help you answer my question. I'm a young Christian apologist. I'm aspiring to be a Christian apologist. Recently I've been doing a lot of studying on Islam, just because there's been a surge of people converting to Islam within my community. African Americans have just been converted into it. Back home where I'm originally from in Philadelphia, my mother, who raised me up in the gospel, just converted to Christianity. I'm just converted to Islam.
Wow.
My brother converted to Islam. And I mean, it's just been a surge of people converting to it. And when I do critical research, I mean, it's definitely not a religion that, I mean, it's kind of being promoted more like a pro-black religion when, you know, that's not what it is. That's not what it was historically. So my question is, what do you think some of the spiritual side of things? Because I don't really want to say it's just from a natural side. I think it might be something spiritually happening to where, you know, my mom, who, you know, was a dedicated Christian, would convert to Islam, and my brother, who was also a dedicated Christian, would convert to Islam. And it's like when I speak to them on some of the things about Muhammad, some of the things he said about black people, the fact that he was not black, even though people are saying that he was black.
Right.
What do you think some of the, you know, besides, you know, praying for them, what do you think some of the more deeper spiritual roots is behind the movement of, you know, a lot of black Americans converting to Islam the way they are?
Yeah, and Aaron, a lot of black Americans specifically are converting to the Nation of Islam version of Islam. In certain ways, it's come closer to Islam than it did in its origins, but it is much more associated, say, with Louis Farrakhan, with anti-white racism, with black pride and things like that, all of which are really completely unrelated to Islam. And as you know, one of the things that got Malcolm X in trouble was realizing, going over to Saudi Arabia and realizing, okay, the people there in Muhammad's homeland are not black. But you're asking the right question. And first, folks listening, watching, would you pray for Aaron's family? That's a heavy load to carry. Brother, mother, turning away from the Lord. So some of you I know would be really burdened. So let's pray with him for God to turn their hearts. But I'd say, Aaron, there are a few things going on. One is that in many of our churches, there can be a superficial religion, an emotional religion that is not attached to morality, that is not, that doesn't have a backbone to it. And so you can go into a church service, you can shout and, you know, preach back to the preacher as he's preaching and get into the good music, but you go out and live an immoral life. There's no family structure and things like that because of a lack of depth in the faith. So Islam brings an order with it, an authority with it. So much of our Christian preaching today is afraid to be clear in terms of what's right and what's wrong and draw strong moral lines. So Islam just does that unapologetically. And then today, when we have so much racial tension in America, where, say, if you vote for Donald Trump, that proves that you're a racist and a white supremacist and things like that, and it's kind of an us against them thing, that a Louis Farrakhan and others, they will appeal to that emotion and the Jesus that people are hearing. That's just this white Jesus, and we want to go back to the real faith. You know, we've got to get away from this slaveholders' religion, and that's Christianity. So some of those dynamics taking place now cause people not to recover the biblical roots of the gospel, which are not white, okay? But rather than recovering the biblical roots of the gospel, they'll reject the gospel as that slaveholders' religion and with your white Jesus, and Islam somehow being the black faith, where, of course, Islam is practicing slavery to this day and was enslaving Africans long before Christians heard of the practice. Those are some of my thoughts on the spiritual end, Aaron. But keep digging, and obviously reach out to Ministries James White, Vocab Malone, dealing with Black Hebrew Israelites, David Wood, and others, and continue to study. May the Lord use you to bring many back to the truth. God bless you.